Hello, and welcome back to another episode of From Tears to Talking, the podcast for parents and educators who are ready to ditch the power struggles and take a calmer, more connected approach to behavior and emotions. I'm your host, Ashley Bell, school counselor, curriculum designer, children's book author, and mom of two kids who are constantly reminding me that parenting is equal parts challenging and rewarding. Before we dive in, I want to say thank you. Every week you tune in, download a freebie, or even just share the podcast with a friend, you're helping me build this community of parents and educators who are learning together, and I'm so grateful you're here. In our last episode, we talked all about anger, how it builds like a volcano, what the warning signs look like, and how to step in with strategies before the eruption. That episode was packed with aha moments for so many of you. Today, we're taking another step into the world of big emotions, but this time, we're looking at behavior that makes parents' blood pressure rise almost instantly. Being lied to. Picture this. You walk into the kitchen and notice ice cream smeared all over the counter. You turn to your child, whose face is clearly covered in ice cream, and you say, "Who made the mess with this ice cream?" And without missing a beat, they look right at you and say, "It wasn't me." You can see the evidence plain as day. There's a trail of ice cream leading from the counter to your child, and yet here they are denying it. Does this sound familiar? Every parent and teacher I know has been there. Kids lying about their part in the recess drama, lying about finishing homework, lying about who started the argument with their sibling. And here's the kicker. Lying is one of those behaviors that brings big emotions on both sides. Kids often lie because they're feeling scared, embarrassed, or worried about disappointing someone. Parents, when lied to, often feel frustrated, betrayed, or even angry. That mix is powerful, and if we don't handle it carefully, the result is usually a big blow up instead of a teachable moment. So let's slow down that ice cream scene for a second and walk through what that could look like in real life. You see the ice cream, you see your child, you hear them answer no. Now you're at a fork in the road. One path is a power struggle. You can say, "I can see it right there. Why are you lying to me?" Voices will get louder, defenses will go up, and now you've got two problems, the ice cream and the meltdown. But there's another path, the teaching path. You take a breath, you speak slowly, and you say, "I see ice cream on the counter and on your face. I think you're worried about getting in trouble." Pause for a second. And then say something like, "You can tell me the truth, we'll handle it together." If they still say no, you can give them an out or a way to try again, kind of like a second chance or a do-over. You can say to the child, "You don't have to explain it yet." You can just say, "I need a redo and we'll start this over." 9 times out of 10, when you offer that redo, kids will take it. And when they do, you can name what happened and move forward. "Thank you for being honest. That was a brave choice. Now let's clean up this mess and talk about how we handle treats next time." If they don't take the redo, don't chase it. Don't pile on 6 more questions. You simply close that loop. You say to them, "I'm going to help you to tell the truth. This ice cream needs to be cleaned up, and we're going to pause screens for the rest of the afternoon. You can try again with your words after we're done cleaning." Notice the order. Connection first. "I'm going to help you to tell the truth." Then a consequence that fits. "We're going to pause screens for the rest of the afternoon." Then a redo so honesty is practiced, not just preached. You can try again when your words after we're done cleaning. You can use this same structure for homework, sibling conflicts, broken items, whatever the scenario. But at the end of the day, the big question is, why do kids lie? First, it's important to know that lying is actually a very normal part of child development. Kids don't wake up one day and say, "You know what? I'm going to start being dishonest now." Lying is often about emotional survival, or it's their way of getting out of situations they either can't or don't want to handle. Some of the most common reasons kids lie is fear of punishment. They just don't want to get in trouble. Embarrassment. Maybe they messed up and they don't want anyone to know. They're not ready to admit it. Or they're avoiding disappointment. They want to keep your approval. They don't want your perception of them to change. It could even be just their imagination. Younger kids sometimes blur that line of fantasy and reality. Or maybe they're just testing boundaries. Older kids may stretch the truth to see what they can get away with. Here's the key, though. Behind almost every lie is a big emotion: fear, shame, worry, sometimes even pride. When we understand this, we can respond in a way that teaches honesty without crushing our kids' sense of safety. So, with that, let's start by talking about what doesn't work. Labeling your child as a liar or saying things like, "You're such a liar," that can make them feel ashamed and defensive. They'll be more likely to lie again just to protect themselves from being called a liar. Lecturing in the heat of the moment. If your child is already scared or embarrassed, piling on with long speeches usually makes the situation worse. Their emotional brain is in charge, and your words won't sink in. Don't ignore it. If we pretend it didn't happen, kids miss the chance to learn that honesty matters and that it's safe to tell the truth. So now let's talk about what works better. Staying calm, taking a deep breath before responding. Remember, your calm is contagious, but so is your emotional dysregulation. Next, separate the behavior from the child. Instead of "you're a liar," say "you told a lie." This keeps the focus on the choice, not their identity or who they are as a person. Then name the feeling underneath. You might say, "It seems like you were worried about getting in trouble, so you told something that wasn't true." This helps kids connect the dots between their emotions and their behaviors. And then make honesty safe. If kids know that they can tell the truth without the sky falling or the world ending, they'll be more likely to open up. This doesn't mean that there aren't consequences, but it does mean leading with connection before correction. One of my favorite tools for teaching about lying is my Types of Lies Town activity. It is a complete lesson designed to help kids understand honesty and why different kinds of lies might happen. Instead of treating all the lies the same, it breaks them down into categories like white lies, bold-faced lies, lies by omission, and more. This resource turns the tricky topic into something fun and interactive. Kids explore different scenarios, sort them into categories, and talk about the feelings behind the lie. It includes sorting challenges, visual supports, and discussion prompts that make it easy for parents and teachers to guide kids through conversations about truth-telling, integrity, and trust. By the end, kids walk away knowing that while everyone makes mistakes, honesty builds stronger relationships and safer spaces at both home and school. It turns lying into a conversation instead of a lecture. And when kids can laugh a little, play a little, and see lying as something we can talk about, they're way more likely to reflect and make changes. And that's where this week's freebie comes in. To give you a little taste of Types of Lies Town, I created a mix and match activity that helps kids practice spotting truths and lies in a silly, lighthearted way. The printable comes with different sentence starters and endings that kids can combine and sort into all kinds of funny statements. Some will be obvious truths, some will be obvious lies, and some will make you stop and think. The fun is in the discussion. Is that a white lie? Is that a bold-faced lie? Could that be a lie by omission? You'll get giggles, you'll get thoughtful answers, and most importantly, you'll get kids practicing honesty in a safe, playful way. This freebie is just a sneak peek. The full Types of Lies Town lesson takes kids even deeper into this topic. You'll find the link to the full resource, which is available in my TPT store, Etsy shop, and my Crafty Counselor shop inside the freebie download. This week, here is your action step. When your kid tells a lie, and trust me, it will happen, take a moment to pause. Instead of reacting right away, try saying, "I wonder if you felt worried about what would happen if you told me the truth right now." That simple shift acknowledges the emotion, keeps the door open for honesty, and gives your child a chance to try again. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 5 of From Tears to Talking. Don't forget to grab your freebie in the show notes and check out the full resource if you want even more ways to teach honesty in a playful, kid-friendly way. Next week, we are talking about why transitions are so hard and how to shift without a meltdown. As always, thank you for being a part of this community and following along on this new adventure with me. Together, we'll turn the tears into talking. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 5 of From Tears to Talking. Don't forget to grab your freebie in the show notes and check out the full resource if you want even more ways to teach honesty in a playful, kid-friendly way. Next week, we are talking about why transitions are so hard and how to shift without a meltdown. As always, thank you for being a part of this community and following along on this new adventure with me. Together, we'll turn the tears into talking.